Welcome to a 20-minute conditioning flow with a focus on core strength, which includes not only the abdominals and torso, but the spine as well. Let's meet in Shavasana. All right, so we're getting started for today's flow in Shavasana. Come to lie on your back. You could have your legs long, you could have your knees bent, just a comfortable shape on your back. Just allowing yourself to land with the first few breaths. You might even tune into the energy of the space around you. Noticing sensations on your skin, noticing any sounds that might be landing on your ears. Let's take a full energizing breath in and a big sigh out of your mouth. Let's take a stretch overhead, reach your arms up, extend your fingers away from your toes, get really long, maybe even squeezing shoulders up towards your ears. Inhale and exhale, drop down. All right, bend your knees if they're not already there, and then bring them to a tabletop so that your shins are parallel to the ceiling. You could point your toes, you could flex your toes, just make sure that the feet are nice and active. Knees lined up over top of your hips. Bring your palms to your thighs. And then see if you can imprint your low back into your mat. So you should already feel the core lighting up, and you should feel the low back pressing down into your mat. Take a breath in. On your exhale, press your palms into your thighs and then your thighs back into your palms. So really active through the core. You might even feel a little shake. I definitely am. Good. And then release for a breath. And then we'll go again. So you might count for like 5. And then release. And then go one more time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, hug your knees in towards your chest. Yogi's choice, you might roll off to one side, or you could bring your hands underneath your thighs and kind of rock and roll up and down your spine. And then we're gonna come to meet in child's pose. So flip yourself over. Knees can come a little bit wider. They could come closer together. Your choice. Just coming into Balasana for a few breaths. So not only will we be focusing on our abdominals and the torso, we also want to work on spine strength as well and creating that stability for the spine. I feel like when we think of core, we often think of those superficial muscles, like the top muscles, that six-pack. We really want to work on strengthening around the spine as well, so we create a nice, stable spine to support us through every day. All right, let's start to energize through the arms. Reach your fingertips forward and pull yourself into your table. Move through a few cat and cow. So again, warming up into the spine. Inhale to let your belly drop down. Bring your gaze and your chest forward. Let your tail lift. Exhale, press into your palms and round your spine. Draw your chin towards your chest and tuck your tail. Inhale again, let your belly drop down. Glide your heart space forward. And exhale to round your spine. You could stick with your cow and cat for the next few breath cycles, or feel free to explore here. You might want to kind of play with shifting from side to side, just noticing how the torso and the back body is feeling today. Good. Let's stay for one more breath. Just checking in with your breath. Link it to your movement. All right, coming back into a neutral spine now. We're gonna play with some bird dogs. So tapping once again into that core stability, also balancing and working on shoulder stability. So let's start by reaching the right fingertips forward and the left toes back. So plug into that left palm and keep the length through the crown of your head. You might even think about keeping an orange or a grapefruit between your chin and your chest to keep the cervical spine nice and long. Okay, breathe in, reach your right fingertips forward and up and lift the back foot. On your exhale, round everything in, draw that right elbow towards your left knee and kind of puff up between the shoulder blades. Inhale to reach up and open. Exhale to round. One more like that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to round. Good. Find your table again. We'll switch sides. So this time planting down into your right palm. Extend your left fingertips forward, right toes back. Keeping the pelvis relatively neutral as you lift the left arm and the back leg. Breathe in. Exhale to round. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to round. Inhale to lengthen, hopefully starting to feel that fire through the belly. And exhale to round. Good. Last one. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, round. And then find your tabletop once again. I feel like we might have done an extra one on that side, but that's okay. So now we'll tuck the toes if they're not already there. And just gently float your knees off of your mat just a couple of centimeters. So you're in this floating tabletop. Notice if your hips are kind of piking up. That probably means that your knees are a little bit too far away. You want to try and keep that neutral position so the hips stay in line with the shoulders. You could stay here or, added challenge, shoulder taps. Without letting your pelvis shift, bring your right hand to your left shoulder, pause, and then lower it down. And then keep switching through. Breathe. Almost like you're balancing a glass of water or maybe like a bowl of cereal on your low back, trying to keep the pelvis, the hips, as quiet as possible. Navel draws up and in. Let's finish with one more on each side, hopefully feeling that little shake. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling, maybe wiggling, finding your breath. Good. Find some stillness now. Send your heels towards the back edge of your mat. On your next inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. That's your flow right there. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Building that strength through the core, the legs, the arms. Inhale, last time, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take a breath in, come forward to your high plank. Pause here. Good. So now in your high plank, let's add those shoulder taps. Once again, keeping the pelvis neutral. You can tap the knees down here for extra support. Just make sure that you're bringing the hips forward with you and they're not piking up. Keep going with those shoulder taps. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Feel like you're pushing your mat away from you. Good. Keep that pelvis neutral and still. Finish one more on each side. Feel that burn. Good. Pause in your plank. And then we're going to come down to a forearm plank. So bringing the forearms down. My pelvis got a little bit wiggly there. Ooh, really fired up through the core. Okay, so once again, knees could come down here. You might stay. Think about drawing the navel in. Or if you're floating the knees up, maybe adding some little tap outs. So reaching the left toes out, bringing them back in, right toes out. And again, see if you can keep that pelvis nice and neutral, gliding your chest forward. Awesome. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, tap your knees down, lower your hips. We'll take a quick stretch here in Sphinx. So your toes can reach back behind you, gentle engagement of your glutes. Just feeling that length across the front of your body. And then lowering all the way down. So this is where our spine strength is going to come in. And let's take baby cobra. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your heart. Exhale to lower. Do that again. Inhale, baby cobra. Wrap your shoulder blades back and down. Exhale to lower. And then this time extend your arms forward. So palms can face down. Good. We'll start with one arm and one leg at a time. So keeping the gaze down, lengthen the right arm up, left toes reach up and back, and then lower down. Switch sides. Left arm lengthens up, right toes reach up and back, and lower. One more time on each side. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Inhale, glutes are engaged. Exhale, lower. You can stick with this opposition, one leg, one arm at a time, or try both. So lifting arms, chest, legs, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, squeeze your glutes. Gaze stays long. Exhale, lower. Keeping the back of your neck nice and long. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale. And exhale to lower. Good. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Move through your table. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale forward to high plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. You can use your knees on the floor or not. Inhale to baby cobra or maybe upward facing dog. Open through your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Look forward on an inhale. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a seated position. Good. Landing on your bum. And then we'll move into a little bit more core for the abdominals, boat pose. Let's start with your hands on the backs of your thighs. And then just slightly lean back so that just your toes are floating on your mat. Awesome. This might be your shape today with that support of the hands, toes floating, maybe shins float parallel to the ceiling. Notice if you're kind of rounding through the spine. See if you can get really tall and long. Maybe extend your fingertips forward. All right, you could stay here or option to add on, breathe in. Exhale, twist towards your right. Breathe in through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Awesome, breathe in center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Good. One more added challenge. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale through center. Exhale, low boat. Hover your shoulders, hover your heels. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, low boat, or you stay in your high boat. One more time on each side. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale to lower or stay. Last one, inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Nice. Inhale, center. Exhale to lower and hover. Good. Release everything down. Maybe a little wiggle of your hips. Good. All right. Let's stretch the front line of the body now. Take the soles of the feet to the floor. Plug into your heels and your big toe mounds. Let's plant the palms down next to the hips. Bridge pose, breathe in. Exhale, peel your pelvis off of the floor. Send your hips really high. Feel that length through your quads, your hips. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you could interlace your fingers underneath you and walk your shoulders right underneath your body. This should feel like a nice stretch after all of that work for the abdominals, torso, spine. Let's take one more breath in. And as you breathe out, lower your hips. Unravel your arms. Good. We'll take a twist. Again, just giving a little bit of love to the spine. Extend your arms out towards the sides, or maybe take a cactus shape. Send your hips over towards the right side of your mat. And then your knees can fall left in any variation that works for you. So I like to take this eagle bind with my legs, so my right thigh wraps over top of the left. You might stack your knees. You might just cross one leg over, take whatever fits. Some deep belly breathing. And then starting from your low abdominals, engage them slightly as you pull your knees back up through center. Unravel your legs or just release any bind that you may have taken and send your hips over towards the left. We'll cross the left thigh over, or maybe you stack your legs or you cross the left leg over towards the right side. So hips go left, legs go right. Find your twist. Starting to slow down the breath. Lengthening inhales, lengthening exhales. Maybe breathing some space into the low back. So core work, so important to keep a healthy spine. Once again, to support you not only through your movement practices, but just through your everyday life. Helping with posture. Okay, let's slowly start to bring the knees back in. Bring your hips back to a neutral position. A couple of options here for you. You could hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe doing a little rock and roll from one side to the other. If you'd like to take happy baby, feel free to take that. And when you are ready to move into your final resting shape, you might take Shavasana. You might come to a seated position. Maybe the soles of your feet to the floor, a little bit wider, and then let your knees knock in. I like to bring one hand to belly, one hand to chest. Thank yourself for showing up today, for stepping into your practice. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. I wish you a peaceful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.